Alright, back again, Luke here. And today we've got out the old TurboGrafx 16, and I figured we could put in this game here, Ghost Manor. So, let's pop this in and play some of that. Well, I figured since it's getting a little bit closer to Halloween, we could do some Halloween-themed games, and this just happened to be one that I came across and figured we could do a video on. It's one that I haven't done a video on yet, and it's a game that some people actually find extremely irritating, and it is hard, but what we'll do today is just do a little bit of some gameplay on it and go throughout the game, show you guys some ways to get through it. It is a bit of a challenging game here. One of the biggest things is the amount of shots that you have. This is our introduction, so... Alright, so there's our introduction there. As you can see, the whole town has been enslaved here, and the game itself is, I mean, it looks really nice. And the music, you know, it's quite simple. It does get repetitive after a while. You do have some very basic moves here, and the controls are not as smooth as they should be, but overall, somehow this game just kind of, it makes you want to keep coming back for more punishment, and that's what you'll find when you play this. Your second button here is going to be your jump. First button is your shot. Now the thing about this game is two things you really have to be careful of. One of them is your health meter, and the other one is the amount of shots that you have. Now, health can be gotten eventually in certain parts of the game, you can find it around, but the shots that you have are quite difficult to refill. You'll notice in the upper right hand corner that'll show you how many life bottles you have there, and your life goes down slowly each time you get hit. You'll notice a part of your life bottle will go down, and then if you lose a life, then one of your characters will disappear. There are different like bonus items that you can pick up along the way, some that are just for like points. But the game combines a lot of puzzle aspects into it, as well as like action platforming, so you really have to try and balance it out. One of the things that I mentioned before with the controls is they are quite slippery, and when you go to move around in the game, you'll find yourself sometimes sliding past stuff. You'll find that your character, Arthur here, will shoot in wrong directions. It is really hard, and there are some things that the game just doesn't really tell you, and you have to learn on your own. One of those is like the jumping sections here. With the jumping parts, you have to be very, very careful with where you jump, how you jump, being kind of stuck or trapped in certain places, because the game does have areas where it just wasn't refined completely, and if you jump in the wrong section, it will lock up and your character will get stuck. So the game really doesn't give you a lot of direction as to where to go either. I mean, you really have to figure it out yourself. If you're someone who has played, what is it, the, let me see if I can remember the title of it. Let's see, well, I'm kind of stuck here. What is it? Shadow of the Beast. That's the game that I was thinking of. Shadow of the Beast, it's kind of like that. Each stage you have to find a key. And in order to get the key, you have to sometimes kill a certain enemy, or you have to do a certain thing. You have to really choose which enemies you're going to kill and which ones you aren't. Some of these enemies are relentless, and they will keep following you until you shoot them and kill them. One of the other things too is Arthur, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but he seems to love shooting in one specific direction here. And sometimes he'll shoot in the opposite direction, you'll find yourself wasting shots like you just saw me there. Here, these little enemies, they don't take down too much, they just kind of like irritate you and cause you to waste your shots, but in some cases you really have to use these in order to get rid of these guys, because they are relentless and they will follow you throughout the game here. But once you do get the key in each stage, you can move on to the next part. The game ramps up in difficulty really hard towards the end of the game, like the last stage is probably the worst one. Arthur can die as well, or get hurt, seriously hurt through the distance that he jumps or falls. So if he falls too far, he can wind up losing a lot of life here. Some of these things you have to be very careful of. Like as you can see here, I lost a life just by falling down there. And you can see I'm probably going to lose another one here. Come on. I'm all out of power here, as you can see. Come on. So, some of these things, like trying to get over here, this is where the key is. That's why I was trying to fight him. But the other thing in this game is just, like I had mentioned with the lives, you really got to be careful because the last stage is the one where you'll lose most of your life. And unfortunately, it's so challenging at the very end of the stage, at the very last boss, that if you don't have all of your lives, you'll wind up dying really, really quickly. And it'll be the end of the game. So you do have a limited amount of times that you can continue in the game before it is game over. I can't remember exactly how many times it is, but as you can see, I have no shots, so I'm completely at the mercy of whatever comes at me here. So I really need to get up there, so trying to jump my way up here just to get past it. Obviously this is really, really poor gameplay. This is a game that I did beat, and it took a long time, especially to figure out all the tricks for that last stage. Basically getting through the entire game without losing a life, and then that last stage is where I spent most of them. As you can see here, like these really thin platforms to walk across, and these hands here are really tricky. But no, it's a big mistake here. I think there's a shot up here that I can get, maybe. I gotta catch this elevator. Sometimes you gotta wait. But there's a lot of secrets in the game that just doesn't tell you what to do. You have to kind of figure out on your own. You'll notice these guys are just kind of hovering around me. The music, a lot of people complain about, as well as the controls. I mean, the game is something, once again, that many people have a tendency to dislike for various reasons. But for me, after playing it for a long time, I mean, I played this thing for probably 8 hours, I think, in total before I was able to beat it. And when I finally did beat it, it was just really, really rewarding. You gotta watch your jumps as well in this game because you can slide backwards and slide off of stuff. Come on. Yeah, you need to get up there. No! Didn't jump. Ah, no. That's the last thing I want. Really want to get up there, but I know if I go down there, there'll be a monster, so sometimes it's just best to wait it out. Wait for the hand here to carry you up. And hope it doesn't disappear. There we go. Nice. Over here's a free guy. There we go. But you gotta watch out for these remaining monsters, because they'll take away your life. Ah, there we go, I only had one hit. But we'll start right there, so. There we go. Now we can go into the next stage. But it throws enemies like right here, right at you, which is evil. And these enemies don't disappear quickly either. These are some of the things, like the elevator section here. This is really hard if you've never played, or you played the game for the first time. For some people it's like, what do we do with this? Like, you have to actually stand in the elevator area and wait for the elevator to go up. But I mean, if you play this constant and you know, you just kind of put in a lot of time into it, you can probably beat the game in a couple hours, I think. But it is very tricky, and it requires a lot of patience. It's one of those things like, if you don't have patience, don't try this game. It will drive you nuts. And if you jump on the fire there, it'll kill you as well. Come on. There we go. And like I said, when you played this, if you've played this game a few times before, you can actually check these drawers and stuff. Sometimes you'll find there's keys, or not keys, there's hearts or something that can help you out. If you make a mistake and you jump on the fire, one hit and you're dead, so. And you can jump on fire, so. The game is not friendly in that aspect. Here, since I don't have any shots, I just gotta wait it out till the elevator comes up. Well, I figured this would be some good, it's gonna hit me, isn't it? Go down! Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Kind of a good game here for Halloween, since we're getting up there. And there are places where, I mean, you don't have to literally go. Here, I have to go here to get some shots, which I'm gonna get killed getting them. That was kind of a waste. Because I should have got the first one and then the second one. But since this is only for demonstration purposes here, you can see I lost a little bit of health when I jumped there. But sometimes, let's say, we check some of these guys. One of these guys has a heart somewhere, I think. Nope. There's a star for a point. And just to check, to do the searching, you just press select. So, there we go. And you can see your meter will fill up just a little bit. So we're getting ready to move on to our next stage. And some of these enemies, like I said before, you just got to avoid them, because if you try to hit all of these enemies, you'll lose a lot of life, you'll lose all your shots, and you won't be able to clear the game. So next part here. But I played this game almost like frantically for the longest time just because I wanted to beat it. So it's not too bad nowadays, but when I first got it, I hated this game with a passion. Well, I kind of find it entertaining. Especially when you remember which way to go, makes it 10 times easier. But it still doesn't make it an easy game. Just makes it easier to play here. Here we go to our next part. This game does require a lot of backtracking and going throughout the game here to get the items you need and then going back again. But some places, like, you can jump up, other places you just can't. The jumping parts just do my mind in. I can't get around how some things are okay to do and other things aren't, but yay! Ta-da! Like, this is a kind of dangerous spot down there. If you stand, you get killed. You'll notice the colors will change with the different shots there. That's the different strength of the item. Watch out. These little demons will come after you. Now there is, there's right ways and wrong ways to do this game, and I do it quite wrong a lot of the time. Oh, let's see. Let's see if we can... There's our key. Try not to get killed here. Oh no! It's because I jumped on the spike. You gotta be careful, you gotta be quick. But the music here will sometimes make your ears bleed a little bit. But like I said, for me this is one of those games that just kind of grows on you. It's... Oh no! No, that's not what I wanted to do. Erg. Can I go up this way? I think I can. Yes. Actually, Actually, I need that shot here. I'll find out what the next part is. But nonetheless, just want to share with you guys a little bit of a look at what Ghost Manor looks like. Whoa, forgot about this guy. Whoa. For the TurboGrafx 16. And it's one of those games that, if you've got some patience, you can get through it. If you don't have any patience, you're out of luck. But it can be rewarding in the sense, like, once you do beat it, yeah, it's just like, oh, I finally did it. I was able to clear this game. But everything else I'll just kind of leave up to the mystery here behind the game. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video a little bit. And yeah, like always, I'll put up another video here soon. So thanks for watching. As Luke continues to play. Like I said, it's one of those games that just get addicted to. Can't stop playing it. And if you don't have the key for the specific spot, it will not let you go through the door. It'll kind of bounce you backwards, so. And I hate these things with a passion. There we go. Now, once you get onto these later stages, it makes it much more difficult. Like, this stage is just evil. The main reason why, this is like the second to last stage here. The reason why this stage is hard is because it has a couple of doors that if you go through the wrong door, it will bring you back to the beginning of the game. And I'm talking about the beginning of the game. So, if you try and knock on one of these doors, I believe it's not the first one here. I think it's this one, maybe. If you knock on that door and try to open it, it will bring you back to the very beginning of the game. It's something that, you know, I found out the hard way. Let's see. And it sucked. I thought, oh man, I hate this game so much. But one of those learning things, like I mentioned before, you gotta duck and shoot sometimes as well. I probably only need one shot there, but the more times you play it, the easier it gets. And the things you realize you can do or can't do or shouldn't do, like jumping on fire is one of those big things. Ah, come on. I don't want to use any shots on him. It's just irritating. And to go through the doors, you just press up. Let's see how much further. We're kind of running out of time here a little bit. But this is one of those stages where it will burn you, literally. There's our key. Ah, that was cheap. But in order to get back through this game here, to the part we need to go. Now, if you press over at the wrong timing, you will wind up getting toasted like that. So, just evil how they do that. So you lose a life instantly. And it will keep doing it, as you can see here. So we've lost most of our lives, I think. And then we have to continue. Yeah, so you have to watch out because some of the times it will put it automatically on game over. But nonetheless, just want to share a little bit of a look at Ghost Manor here with you guys. And yeah, kind of interesting one for the Halloween season. Not a game for everyone. You will wind up going mad trying to play this for some people, but nonetheless here, looks like the camera is all out of focus, and that may be a good sign. Good sign to stop playing. But yeah, if you stuck on this long, then fantastic. But that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. And I'll show you guys what happens. I think maybe it's this door. Let's try. Well, not that one. which one? Did I say this one? So when we press up, this will warp us back to the beginning of the game, which makes this game completely sick, like I'd mentioned. So all that hard work that you did, if you press up at the wrong door, you will throw your TurboGrafx 16 across the room with this game in it. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you here soon.